السلام عليكم. مرحبا بكم في قناة جلف ArabicMaster. كيف حالكم؟ إن شاء الله طيب. كيف الأمور؟ Welcome to Gulf ArabicMaster. How are you? How is going on everything? How was your Eid? I hope that you enjoyed this Eid very well. Okay. Today we are going to start a new session, to start a new series for learning translation practice. So we are going to start from today onwards. Hopefully that we will be continuing that for this year, inshallah. So I was thinking about that, but due to some reasons I could not start till now, but today we are going to start. And since these days is on vacation, I'm on vacation, Eid vacation, so I have some free time. So I thought that this is the best time to start this series. Okay, so what I am going to do is that I am going to share with you my experience from the last 10 years. Our work with different companies in different sectors. So hopefully that it will be very helpful to you, inshallah, and you will find it very useful, inshallah. So we are going to learn some basics points on translation, and then some practices from useful simple sentences for translation, inshallah. And somebody had contacted me saying that our channel has improved a lot in terms of content, in terms of editing quality, in terms of presentation, these all things. So I am very happy that since I got this information from you, and I took it as auspicious and positive. Thank you so much for these comments, and for those all that they had contacted me, and they had given me some suggestions, useful suggestions, positive. Thank you so much. So if I hope that you will support this channel and share with your friends, and promote this channel in our community, inshallah. So let us start with the basics on translation. So what is this translation? Just think about it. What is a translation? So translation is an art, same like all other arts. It's an art of converting one language to another language. It's an art. Conveying one language to another language. It can be from local language to another local language. It can be one Indian language to another Indian language. It can be one Indian language to another Asian language. It can be one Indian language to another other European language. So it's a conveying of message from one language to another language. Little elaborately, we can say that it is a transplantation surgery of a heart of message from one language to another. You might be surprised with this definition. How we are approaching with an operations or surgery. Little more serious. This more serious. An act, right? So we are more concerned about the heart of a person when we are going to transplant it, or while we are going to transplant, or while we are going to operate a particular person. A doctor, how he is approaching, what is the thoughts that he has, what are the feelings that the doctor has. The same thing that a translator also should have. So his operate heart, the person should live, right? Once operation is over, that person should be alive. Otherwise, it is complete failure. In the same way, while we are translating something, that message should be aligned. It should convey to the message to the people. It should be understandable to everybody. Right? Or we can say it is a weaving of insightful meanings with beautiful usages, with beautiful words and usages. Right? So that is just a description or definition on translation. Now just let us think about what are the things that we have to take care while translating. Or what are the requirements a translator should have? We should be well-versed, we should be expert, and we should be, have a good knowledge in 2 languages at least. We should have a good knowledge in 2 languages for a translator. One is should be a native in that language, and we should have a native proficiency in another language, or we should have a native proficiency in 2 foreign languages. Then only we can translate properly without making mistakes and to render the text properly. So it is not a simple job. It's not a simple practice. It is a challenge, right? It's a challenging job. It's a respectable job. You have to do some hard work. You have to plan for it. We have to learn 2 languages very well. Even though it is a native language, we have to learn that language very well. Especially the grammar and morphology, these all things. Language structure, this all should be clear and should be well versed in that. So, as a translator, job is not very easy. And most importantly, a translator should have a common sense. He has to use a common sense while translating whatever things that he gets in his hands or her hands. Whatever documents. Because for each word, the context make the sentence, make the meanings. You know that? You have to keep in mind that. We have to keep in mind that. For every word, the context makes the sense. The context makes the meaning. For example, we just take an example of a bank. Just a word bank. You just think about what is the bank? Bank is, we know that it is a financial institution, financial firm, which for transacting money-related things, right? But if this bank, this word is, if it is used in a literary context, for example, then what will be the meaning? For example, I went to the bank. I went to the bank for a sightseeing or in the evening, just to relax. So that this bank means a seashore or beach. So the bank, it differs the meaning based on the context. So this is very important. These things we have to understand. We have to take it in our minds. The word meaning, that very easy that we can check our dictionary, that we can understand. But in a particular context, what it is meaning, that we have to understand, that we have to grasp. So that's the reason a translator should have a good experience, a particular subject matter, particular document type. So things very important as translators is concerned. So as a beginner, he will not have any idea about these things. You may think that translation is very simple, and we can just take a words and just put in order, and just we can just type it and we can make it as a translation. No, it's not like that. It is not taking the words and deploying it and putting in order. No, it's not like that. While we are translating, we are thinking in a target language, not in source language. So we have to understand one thing: what is the source language and target language? First one, source language. Or text. You can use either language or text. And second one, target. Target language or text. So what is the source language? Source language is the text, the document which we receive for translation, or we are translating. That document is called source document or source language. For example, that we are getting a document from a client, from a company, or from a translation agency. That document is called source document. Alright? And next one is target language. Target language is the language or the document which we are translating into. To which language that we are translating, which is called target language. So for example, that if we are converting or if we are translating from Arabic to English, so in which language that we have to think? We just imagine, just think about it. Then we have to think in English. If we are translating from Arabic to English, we have to think in English. We have to just read and understand in Arabic what it means, what is the content, what is the message involved in that particular document, and what the writer has intended while writing that document or that book. That we have to grasp, we have to comprehend, and then we have to think in another language, the target language, and we have to translate in a natural way, in a beautiful way, with using interesting and beautiful usages and phrases and usages. Yes. So that's we have to do while translating. As a basic things that we should know. So as a translator, we should know all these things, right? Next important thing is document type and subject matter. If you would like to become a translator, or if you are a translator, you must know what is document type and subject matter. I will explain to that. Let me explain it. Document, first one is document type. Second one is A translation student and a professional translator is supposed to know these all things, very important things. For example, like client contacting. Just think that, just imagine that a client contact us and asking that, are you experienced in this subject matter? So then we should not be confused. We should know that what is subject matter and the document type. So let me explain it. First one is a document type, right? Document type is nothing but document type is the document, like for example, visa, passports, and employment contracts or employment agreements, lease agreements, or CVs, announcement or advertisements, brochures, and websites. These all are different document types. Okay, or letters, or power of attorney, or court verdict. These all things are different document types. And then the subject matter. The second one is a subject matter. So subject matter is something like, what is the topic involved in that document? What is the subject to the topic discussed in that particular topic? That is the subject matter. It can be legal, it can be business topic, it can be IT related topic, it can be engineering or construction related topic. So this is called, subject matter. Sometimes in a legal document, financial information is discussed. And in the same way, on the other hand, sometimes in financial document, legal information also discussed. So when we are checking the documents, then only we come to know that what are these main subject matters is discussed in that document. It can be, it may be very simple. It may be very, very difficult. It can be difficult. It can be very difficult. So before checking, we should not inform our rights to the client. Only that, after checking, only that we have to inform our clients about our rights, because that's very important. Sometimes it may cause us, it may make some problems for us. So we may lose so much time and also money because of that. Right? Yeah. So we discussed document type and subject matter. So document type we understood, right? We learned that. So now we know that. Document type is the different kinds of documents for translations, or we are getting that for translation. And subject matter is the topic which is involved, which is discussed in that particular document. So that is the subject matter. When can we say that a translation is very good or perfect, or it is well translated? If a translation, if we don't feel that it is a translated text, okay, if we feel that it is not translated, then it is a perfect translation. If it sounds like a source language, a source text, then we can say it is the translation done very well, or translation is perfect. So some translators, if they are translating something, can easily understand that it is a translated document, because they might have used the same style of the source language. So, for example, if you are taking a consideration of Arabic and English, Arabic has its own style and English has its own style. Arabic in general, it is having a long sentence that using a vowel repeatedly. In a paragraph, you can find so many vowels. Even one paragraph. And you can only see only one sentence in a paragraph. But English is different. English style is different. For a one paragraph, English sentence is split into different sentences into a small sentences. So while we are translating from Arabic to English, we have to change accordingly. We have to change into English style. We have to make the long sentence into the small sentences. These things we have to take care. This is very important. Otherwise, that text will look like Arabic text. And somebody is not very experienced and is the beginners in translation. They are doing like this. They just translates the words as it is in the source text, source document, using the vowels and like that. So that we have to take care. I just sharing now with you just to keep in mind these sort of things. That's very important. So when we can say a translation is very good or perfect, that translated document is if we don't feel it is translated text. If it is looks like, if it is sounds like a source document, and we can say that it is the translation is very good. All right. Now, I just want to share with you some other things like some nightmares that translators are facing sometimes. For example, if I am getting a document which is very poor language used in that document, or if the writer is very poor in that particular language, for example in Arabic, so it's very difficult to read and understand for me as a foreigner. So I have to guess the meanings. He may not have used the proper words and usages in a particular places. So that we have to reread. We have to understand, identify what is the exact word has to be used instead of that word, and we have to find out the equivalent word in English as well. You got my point? I hope that you got my point. That's very important. You might have used another word, wrong word by mistake. But as a translator, I have to correct it. This is such things I got the experience from translatorscafe.com. So we have an option is there, TC terms. So TC terms, what translators can do is that for beginners they can post difficult terminology, difficult terms for getting help from the experienced translators. So I had posted so many terms from the documents which I already received from the clients. there are so many occasions that I made confused. I was confused, and it was a nightmare for me in legal fields, in IT fields. So the writer, he used or she used the wrong words. So from there, the translated cafe, from the TC terms, I understood. I came to know that after reviewing the answers from the well-experienced translators, that we have to understand that context. So they will be asking, once I post some questions, some terms for getting help, for getting the right term translation. So then they keep asking me for the more context, for getting the idea, for getting the good idea, and to find out the exact meaning of that particular word. So context is very important as far as a translator is concerned. Without checking the context, if we say the meaning, most often we make mistakes, or we may be mistaken. So context is very important. If anybody asking you the meaning of for any word or for any term, you don't answer. You don't answer unless you check the context. So we have to check the context, and then only that we have to suggest the answers, the meanings. All right, so I go to you, go add some ideas. So what are the things that we learned today, that we discussed today? I just want to review it. Yes, so we discussed about, as a basics, we discussed about the basics of translation, and it is an art. It is an art, same like other arts, like painting and dancing, and drawing and literature. Caricature, architecture. So it is an art, same like other arts, and it is a job, it is an act of using common sense, which needs to use common sense, right? And in translation, we need to have or to translate, we need to have a knowledge in two languages. One is in our mother tongue and in one foreign language, or in two foreign languages. And it will take some reasonable time to get a native proficiency in foreign language, or even in national languages also. So since I'm in India, since I am from India, we have a lot of languages in India. So if I'm trying to learn Hindi or Tamil or any other languages, it will take a reasonable time to learn that language. Grammar, structure, vocabulary, so many things are to learn for learning a language. It needs more practice. It needs more practice. So translation also, in the same way, the translation, if you want to be a good translator, you need to do more practice. Without practice, you cannot achieve anything. How much you are doing the practice, that much you are going to improve. You will make mistake, of course. Of course you will make mistakes. You should make mistakes. Then only you can improve. So if you are more conscious about making mistakes, and that much you are going to be delaying improving of anything It's not a case of language. Whatever things that you are going to do. Whether you are taking a class or if you have a goal, if you are making delay, if you hesitate to do that, if you hesitate to make steps towards that, that much you are going to be late. So how much early that you are going to start and take your first steps, that much you are going to early that you are going to achieve that your destination and your goal. So if you really would like to become a translator, then take decision now and start your journey. You might be in big zero. No matter. Nothing to worry. If you start now, maybe after 5 years, after 10 years, you might be a professional translator. You might be a better translator, a talented translator than others. I had the same plan 10 years back or 15 years back. That is the reason that I am in a position somewhat able to translate from Arabic to English and English to Arabic. Alhamdulillah. I had a dream, I had a plan which I started from my graduation onwards. It took time. It took reasonable time. I understood that. I was aware about that. It was not easy. It is a challenge. It is a challenging job. Of learning two languages is not easy. But if you are ready to do hard work, if you are interested to learn the languages, if you have that passion, now it is the time for you to take the steps. Maybe, who knows that you are going to be better than others in the future. So why do you hesitate? Nobody is perfect in this world. All starting from big zero, right? Any famous person, if you are checking their history, they might have started from the big zero. They might have done hard works. They might have made so many mistakes in life in that particular thing, and finally they achieved. The same things applies to me and to you as well. How I got the confidence to face the camera, to face the media, and to talk something in front of you in English now. If I can do it, why can't you? I had the same problem. I had a lot of problem and I have a lot of worries about these things. So facing people and facing a camera. That was the reason that I joined the school here in Ajman. To change that, I wanted to make some change. So I found the result now. I see some results. So if you really want to become something, start now. Start your journey now and follow your dreams. If you are very good in talking, if you have good skills in delivering speech, then you can become an interpreter. You are better to become an interpreter. And if you are very good in writing, of creating something and writing, then you are going to become a translator. So that you can decide. If you are more interested in talking, so you can try for for interpretation. You can try to become an interpreter, like conference interpreter, meeting interpreter, consecutive interpreter, simultaneous interpreter, right? And if you are very good in writing, you can become a translator. You can try to translate documents. You can try to translate books. These all things you can do. So you may think that, maybe you may be very interested how to start, what I have to do to get the skills in language, to get skills as a translator. Need to have these good skills in 2 languages. You may be thinking that how to do, what steps that you have to take, right? That I can tell you. If you want to get skills in talking, the speaking skills, then you have to listen to the good language. You have to listen to this good speech. You have to listen to the good conversation. How much that you are listening to the language, that particular language, that much you are going to be good in speaking in that language. For example, if you want to get good skills in Arabic speaking skills, if you want to get good skills in Arabic speaking or speaking Arabic, then you have to listen Arabic very well. You have to reserve so much time listening to Arabic, listening to the conversations, listening to watching films, listening to the personal conversations. So you must reserve much time for that. So while we are listening, then that much we will be able to speak that language. If you listen to the Arabic for a long time, for much time, then you will be able to speak Arabic, very well. And the same way, if you want to get good skills in writing, then you have to read. You have to read a lot. You have to read a lot. You have to read newspapers. You have to read. Books. You have to read. Journals. You have to read magazines. You have to read a lot. How much you are reading, that much you will be. You are going to improve in writing. In brief, from the listening we get speaking skills, and from the reading we get writing skills. So just you have to think what lacks to you, where you lacks, where you have the problem. That you have to do. If you have the problem with talking with something, or if your problem is with talking, then you have to talk more. You have to listen more, and you have to practice it. Your problem is with the written language, then you have to read a lot, and then you have to try writing something. Then you are going to improve. If you didn't start till now, then today is the time for you to start. Definitely you are going to be very good after some time. Maybe after 1 month, it may be after 6 months, it may be after 1 year. You might have changed a lot. You can see the results. We have is very good in writing. They can write stories, they can write lectures, they can write even novels. But we find it very difficult in terms of talking with some people and talking and delivering speech, this all things. What happening? Because they don't have experience in talking. They don't have experience in talking with the people. That is the problem. It's a lack of experience. How a child learning a new language. If you look at a child, how he learns a new language. He is looking at his or her mother, and mother's eye contact, facial expression, body language, and the voice coming from outside, from the mouth. From these all things, a child, understanding what the mother is, is talking about. The child doesn't have a vocabulary. He doesn't know anything. But he understands something from the expressions. You try to catch the meaning from the context, from the expressions. In the same way, in the natural way that we have also to learn a language. There is a wrong system of learning language, starting from writing. Learning to start from writing. No, it is a wrong system. First, we have to practice, speaking by listening to the pure language. If talking is good, then we can start with the writing. Then automatically that will be able to write also. If you are reading more. So now you just decide it. Where you have the problems, where you lacks, that you have to do. So translation is not easy. If you have guts, if you have a strong determination, if you have a tendency, attitude to do hard work, then you can also achieve to become a translator. I wish you all the best to become a professional translator in near future. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it is useful and informative and you got something, at least some idea about translation and how to practice with it. You may please share Gulf ArabicMaster channel and videos with your friends, please. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned. Jazakumullah khair. Ma salam.